Hi, this is Tad Radzinski. I want to welcome everybody to our webinar today, Crash Course on Corporate Responsibility. The purpose of this webinar today is really a culmination of the last 6 months of webinars we've been doing where we focused on various topics to help organizations develop a corporate responsibility program that could be integrated right into their business strategy. So today what we're going to do is we are preparing for our seminar that we're doing on January 28th here in Philadelphia, and this is a very brief summary of the last 6 months of webinars that we've done on this very topic. So today we're going to be going through and just doing a few summary slides from the past webinars to get the folks that are on the call here and on the webinar that are going to be attending the seminar. And we're excited to say that the seminar is pretty much sold out. We have only 2 seats available at this point, and there's a couple people that we're just waiting to hear back. But if there is anybody on the line here that is interested, you can definitely reach out to Caitlin and see if there is any availability. We're really excited. We got a great mix of companies coming to this seminar. And we're really excited to roll into teaching people how they can take sustainability and make it part of their business strategy and really integrate it into improving overall performance of their organizations. So the one thing we really want to remember is we're all in this profession for a reason. We're all caring about sustainability for a reason. And as an engineer, I have to tell you, I'm really amazed at this incredible system or a collection of life support systems that we call planet Earth. It provides life support not only for us but every other species. And if you really think about it, it's a pretty incredibly designed system. First of all, it's solar powered. It creates no waste. Basically, they can operate without any human interaction, of course, waste-free, and the sun drives the whole process, and it creates not only all the resources we need, but it also provides clean air, clean water, food, and it's not just for us, it's for many other species. So it's really important for all of us, the work we're doing, and we have to remember the big picture. We're definitely focused on improving the overall performance of our organizations. And, we really have to think, though, that we want to do the greater good not only for our companies, but also for society, communities, and, the planet in general. So we can definitely ensure that we have a long-term sustainability plan for not only us, but many other species. So, like I said, definitely for the last 6 months, actually for the last many years, I've been preaching that sustainability really should be part of your business strategy. Anytime sustainability is an add-on program, people tend to think, oh great, another program we have to deal with, here's another initiative the company's rolling out. That's why we really want sustainability to be built right into the fabric of everything that's done within the organization. Every business decision, every decision around new products, every decision around new markets should really be considering the sustainability aspects that have been evaluated as part of your whole strategy in order to make it a seamless process that becomes just part of the culture. And we definitely know that every person within an organization has a role in implementing a good sustainability program in order to really make it part of the business strategy. Oftentimes, the sustainability professional that's been assigned the role of driving sustainability for a company is basically viewed as the person that makes it happen. And of course there's a lot of great people out there that can get things done. However, you really need everybody in the whole organization to pull in and to really understand how their role can make a difference, how their job can have an effect on decisions that are made and the overall environmental, economic, and social performance of the company. And I do really want to give kudos out to those sustainability professionals out there that have made things happen. Many companies we've worked with have started at very grassroots with just one person who had an idea or a manager that suggested that they start doing something and assign somebody, And we have seen some pretty incredible work happening out in the world. So if we think about it, there is definitely a business case for sustainability. Not only is it a huge value for reducing costs or increasing sales, but it definitely gives us the ability to build brand or customer loyalty. Getting with the advent of so many sustainable supply chain questionnaires coming out and different requirements from various organizations, and all the activity around sustainability reporting, it's almost expected anymore that you have to have some type of sustainability program. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are just starting out. There's also a lot of organizations that have been doing the sustainability game for a long time, and we all realize that we do have limited resources on the planet. I expect we're going to be seeing resource shortages in our lifetimes here. I don't know exactly what it will be. It could be certain types of metals or other resources that we rely on. And I can tell you for a fact that if you do not evolve and change the way you do business, or really start to think about how you're going to improve your economic, social, and environmental performance, you have a high likelihood that you're not going to be able to compete in the changing market out there. And I've seen some of the biggest companies in the world lose whole business operations because they weren't paying attention to the market. They didn't evolve. They didn't change the way they do business or adapt, and they ended up going extinct or out of business. So definitely keep that in mind, that as you're moving forward with your whole initiative, by building it right into your business strategy, it's definitely very helpful in ensuring the long-term sustainability of the organization. We've seen this roadmap just about in every one of the webinars we've done over the last few months, and this is really the key steps to developing a sustainability program. And for those of you that have been on my webinars in the past, and those of you that are coming to the seminar, we're going to revisit this now and then. It's important that we understand that the process typically starts out with some kind of a commitment. Usually some manager in the organization has to commit to allocating resources, and whether it's coming from the top, right from the CEO, or maybe a mid-level or low-level manager that says, hey, we think this is a good idea, let's just get something started, that's where it really begins. Then we've talked quite a bit about forming a sustainability team, educating that team, collecting data and benchmarking operations, doing sustainability assessments and materiality assessments, all really key for evolving and adapting your sustainability initiatives. Because I can guarantee that most of you that are out there, you're going to definitely do some things based on the sustainability assessments you performed, or your materiality assessments. You're going to get some successes. You might have some barriers or roadblocks you're going to hit, but you're always going to have to keep evolving the program and improving it and adapting it. And that's why you typically see most companies will set longer term goals, maybe 2015 goals, 2016, 2021 goals, whatever you're setting, but then you're going to continually do things each year to keep striving towards those goals. And bottom line is, once you hit your goals, you got to start and keep going for continuous improvement, because the path to sustainability is a long road, and very, very difficult to get to a point where we have reach that plateau of no emissions, superior social performance, perfect economic growth, that kind of thing. We also have to remember that there are many risks and opportunities that we have to consider as we integrate sustainability into our business strategies. And when I work with various companies, the big thing we really look at is what is most important, the two most important things to growing your business or to your overall business strategy for the next couple of years. And oftentimes it's goals around increasing sales or building the brand, or oftentimes it's also around utilizing certain resources. And we know there's global challenges in the world. We know countries like China are experiencing significant issues with air pollution and water scarcity and different things like that. We also know that there could be a time in our lifetimes where we might see a carbon tax. I think we have plenty of fossil fuels. We're probably going to run out of an atmosphere to put those fuels into as we, continue to burn coal and oil and various things. So, by understanding a carbon footprint and continually reducing that can shield you from future issues, maybe future, financial liabilities as well. And then let's not forget, we're seeing a lot of companies out there really pushing for doing supplier sustainability assessments. I'm sure that some of the people on this webinar today are supplying products or materials or services to somebody, and I'm sure you'll probably have to fill out some type of sustainability questionnaire in the future, or maybe you've already done that. I can also say that I've seen some tremendous work come out of using life cycle assessment to understand not only products but operations and looking for different things that can be done to improve that. And for anybody that's on the webinar today that's manufacturing products, life cycle assessment is definitely a very valuable tool to help you reduce impacts of the products you make. We've always talked a lot about benchmarking and measurement. Bottom line is if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. And I've strongly encouraged most organizations to benchmark energy, water, waste, but also think about the social aspects of your company, safety, the community connectivity activities you're doing, different things surrounding, financial goals and things like that. All these things need to be measured and benchmarked to establish not only the goals you're going to implement, whether you're starting your program or you've got an ongoing system and program in place, you're going to need to use benchmarking and measurement to set up a baseline performance year or performance goals, and then basically establish where you're going and how you're getting there by periodically checking in on that data to make sure you're meeting the goals you've set. It's also a very valuable way to communicate information to not only your internal but your external stakeholders. We've talked a lot in the different webinars about doing sustainability assessments, and any organization can do a sustainability assessment. The graphics I show here would be for maybe a manufacturing facility or a facility that might be, doing something around, utilizing packaging. Maybe you're a shipping company or you're manufacturing hardware or something like that. But once you have these metrics, doing your benchmarking and measurement and doing your sustainability assessment, it really gives you a very holistic view of your organization and your operations. And by bringing that information all together, it really helps to establish long-term goals. It's very valuable for conducting your materiality assessment, really understanding what you want to do with the information you've gleaned from your sustainability assessment. And then I always encourage anybody, if we don't want to make sustainability an add-on program, every company, every organization is going to have some kind of existing initiatives or programs in place. And by marrying them all together and including that in the sustainability assessment, it really allows you to get set up for conducting what we call materiality assessments. We're going to be talking a lot about this in the seminar in 2 weeks from now, and really looking at not only what's important to you as an organization, but what's important to your key stakeholders. And if we think about it, key stakeholders could be your employees, they could be your customers, they could be NGOs, non-government organizations, like Greenpeace or World Wildlife Fund or somebody like that. Could be government agencies that are really wanting to understand what you as an organization are doing from a sustainability perspective, what's important to them. And by looking at both of those aspects, not only what's important to your company, but what is going to help with your overall sustainability initiative based on what's important to your stakeholders, is really critical to understanding what's going to be material and allow you to establish those goals and programs for the future. Any of you that are doing, GRI, that maybe you've been reporting to GRI using G3. As you migrate to G4, materiality assessments are going to be a mandatory requirement. And we not only see that as a means of meeting that requirement for G3 or G4, but we see it as a means of really establishing a very effective and comprehensive focused program around integrating sustainability into your overall business strategy. Once you have done your sustainability assessments and your materiality assessment, then it's time to really focus in and design your program. I always suggest that anybody starting the process from scratch, you definitely want to start with your low and no cost measures. Even companies that have had long-term sustainability programs, I've been in their facilities, whether it's a manufacturing plant, an office building, warehouse, whatever, and I always end up seeing things that are still, available as far as opportunities to reduce costs and reduce environmental and social impact. So even if you think you've already got all the low-hanging fruit, I can pretty much guarantee if you start to dig in deeper, you'll probably find some of those opportunities. You definitely want to make sure that whatever you're doing when you design the program can be effectively integrated into the company culture. I hear we've been doing interviews with a lot of the folks that are going to be attending the seminar on January 28th, and the overwhelming thing that I keep hearing is, oh, we really need to improve employee engagement and management engagement. What can we do there? How can we get people to really, embrace these initiatives and to make it really part of their job? And, that's definitely something that needs to be focused on. We're going to be talking a lot about that when we meet in the next couple of weeks here at the seminar. And then I also like to tell people, when you make goals, you're most likely going to have some idea, okay, we think we can achieve these goals, but sometimes you're going to have to adjust them. Sometimes there's evolutions within your marketplace or changes within your company that's going to require you to take a hard look at the goal. And maybe, there's just some things you didn't anticipate. Of course, you want to be successful with your goals, but, I think when you're really doing an effective job at sustainability, some of them you're going to meet very well, and some you're going to continue to struggle with, and you're going to have to continue to adapt and change the way you approach that. I also am a strong advocate for integrating education into everything you do, and we'll be talking about that more in a few minutes here. If you are a manufacturer, I strongly encourage manufacturers to use information like they've done with life cycle assessment or their sustainability assessments to integrate that into an overall sustainable product design or innovation process. And really what that is using life cycle thinking and integrating sustainability into every stage and gate of a new product development process. There's a lot of companies out there that use stage gate, and the overall plan for this is, I'm a very strong advocate for closed loop or a circular economy model. And I actually did a TEDx last year. If any of you are interested, this link here would take you to the TEDx I did talking about that. And what I did in that TEDx is I really wanted to bring those ideas of closed loop and using sustainable product design down to a level that the average person could understand. Because if we're really going to make our society into a sustainable society, we really need to focus in on making products more sustainable, and that includes establishing these circular economy type systems. When it comes to implementation, so you've done all your assessments, you've done your materiality, you definitely have a plan and goals. Really key thing to get things to happen is building urgency within your organization. If everybody just says, oh, well, that's the sustainability guy's job, it's not my job, that's going to be a problem. So being able to be an effective communicator and being able to rally people that are really excited and interested in this, and I can guarantee you every organization is going to have some people that have some passion around sustainability or making their workplace better. Most people that work in some places have a commitment to that organization. They enjoy their job. They want to see the long-term success of the organization, and you want to definitely capture those people and get them to collaborate with you as you move forward to really implement your responsibility program. Getting executive buy-in is critical. We still have quite a few companies we work with that they have some management support, but they may not have the CEO support. It's great if you do, but if you don't, you still need to get that executive buy-in, and the way you do that is by getting and demonstrating some quick successes. Maybe showing some cost savings, maybe showing some results where you get some folks that, maybe you've done some things around sustainability, like, taking a hard look at your products or developing environmental product declarations, and you end up making a few big sales, or you've gotten feedback from some of your stakeholders that the fact that you do have a sustainability program is really good and that meets their supplier requirements or whatever. Those kind of things are important to communicate to executives to get them excited about that. And building urgency within the organization, the spin you always want to put on that is talking about the fact that this is really critical to the long-term business success of the company or organization, and that's a great way to build urgency. Getting people engaged, like I said, we've had a lot of feedback from the people we've been interviewing that are coming to the seminar. A couple key things there is, definitely identifying leaders, getting them committed and helping out with implementing this information. Education and training, that could be everything from training the janitor all the way up to the executive team on, what the goals are and how they can contribute. We've even done training for, in fact, this particular slide here, we're working at a manufacturing facility where we were training people how to do sustainability assessments. And, this is just a great example of how to get it from the responsibility of one or two people up to getting lots of people involved in the process. I think making it real is really critical. If you talk a language that people can't understand, most people aren't going to be excited or get involved. So being able to bring it down to the level that the average person can really get it, maybe you're talking about saving paper, or you're talking about reducing trash to, waste to landfill. Being able to speak that language that somebody can understand is going to be really important. And we also have to remember, there's always opportunities with what we call innovative employee benefit options, where meeting sustainability goals could be part of a bonus program or part of people's performance goals. Different ways to really get this integrated with all the employees. We also know that once you have your sustainability program up and running, you definitely want to get the word out. You want to communicate to all your stakeholders that things are really happening within your organization. You've got these programs and initiatives ongoing to help you really improve your environmental, economic, and social performance for the long term. And these opportunities are also very helpful for maybe reaching new markets or customers. For example, let's say that you've done some work around sustainable products, or you've really implemented your sustainability program. You might have somebody that has sustainable supply chain requirements. I use the example all the time of Kaiser Permanente. If you're selling any kind of products to them in the medical field, they definitely want to know that you have a sustainability program. They also want to know what you're doing to eliminate certain chemicals and compounds that they deem, unhealthy out of your products. Same thing with Walmart, and many other companies are asking these questions now. Also, for people who make building products, green building codes mean law. So we're definitely seeing an evolution now away from voluntary activity around green building, but more mandatory, that is requiring transparency in the building market and things like that. We also know that there's a whole consumer base out there that are demanding green products, and they want to buy them from sustainable companies. So this is very important for you to consider. And we do all know, based on the use of our smartphones and iPads and all these other things, that we are a very connected society right now. And the age of information it's very easy to look up information, to learn things very quickly. You can basically make or break a company's image within a few tweets or texts, and depending on how well you're doing, this new age of information sharing is something that's really important to remember. That's also a great way to get the word out about your company. I also can tell you, having worked in this business for a long time, there is a great way to make money and to be profitable within sustainability. And sometimes that can be measured in terms of dollars and cents, or maybe increased sales, or improved productivity, or happier employees, all kinds of different things. But you definitely want to use sustainability to set you apart, because it is the wave out there with many companies and, like I said, consumers. And you also have to remember some things may be tangible and some things may be intangible. For example, how do you really measure, brand loyalty? Hard to do that, but once people start to use a certain product, or even if you have a certain company you're selling to, building that brand loyalty can be a very important thing that will be hard to document and show to your management. Also knowing that, using this information is really going to help you reach new markets and customers, and we really do that by understanding what our stakeholders are desiring. I've said many times that, sustainability sets you apart, and there's going to be many benefits here. Not only does having a sustainability program demonstrate that you have a long-term corporate outlook, but, you're also working towards representing how you're going to manage your environmental, social, and governance factors for your organization. And these are all big things when it comes to an overall business strategy. Also, like I said, if you sell products to somebody, that will definitely exhibit, superior supply chain management is what I call it, where you can definitely meet the requirements of a Walmart or a Kaiser Permanente to get that information out to the world. I've talked about it many times, education. The reason we do these webinars, the reason we do these seminars is we really want people to change the way they do business. We want sustainability to become part of everything everybody does in their operations, in their organizations, and utilize training and education to get people really excited and engaged and build that sense of urgency. So that's why we're here today, and that's why we're having the seminar on the 28th. Like I said, we do have a couple of seats. I'm excited by the companies that are coming, and I've only got about 2 or 3 minutes here, and what we're going to do is take a couple questions. It looks like I have 1 or 2 that came in here. So I want to thank you all for joining. The first question I have here is, how do we continue to show value in return for sustainability initiatives to our management? Well, like I said earlier in this beginning of this webinar today, there's a lot of organizations out there that have been doing sustainability for quite a while, and I think the most important thing you do there with your management is, number one, you're continuing to monitor the market, you're continuing to measure your successes, and when I say that, I mean, it could be a testimonial. One of your customers says something. It could be a situation where you land a large contract. It could be a situation where you've reduced more energy than you anticipated, or you've gotten some employees really excited about, helping to implement this. All of those things need to be communicated to your management team, and then, use that information to evolve your sustainability program as you go on. The next question I have here, what are ways to get funding for sustainability initiatives within our company? There are so many other initiatives competing for capital. Well, this is a common problem, but if you remember, I said in the beginning of this webinar in one of the slides, funding sustainability with sustainability. What I mean by that is every time you have a success, and let's say it's an operational success where you've reduced energy, water, or waste, that resulted in some cost savings, it's very good to try to negotiate with whoever your management team is to say, hey, look, if we save this much money or we increase sales by X, can we take that money and put it into our budget for next year, or, for the next 6 months or whatever. Those things have proven to work very well for many different folks, and, that's a really great way also to get excitement, show that, there is success, really get the employees involved in that process as well. So it looks like we're coming up on the end of our half an hour here, and I do want to thank everyone who's on the webinar today. I'm really excited for those of you that are coming to the seminar. I'm looking forward to meeting you face-to-face and working with you, and definitely keep us informed if there's any specific webinar topics you'd like to see in the future, or different things that you'd like to hear from us. We're glad to, develop that as we plan our future webinar series. And I do appreciate when people do visit my blog and provide comments, so please keep that up. And again, look forward to seeing those of you that are coming to the seminar on January 28th. And let's keep up the good work out there. We have a long way to go and a lot of great things we need to do to really make sustainability become just a way of doing business. Have a great day.